Okay, so once you go from writing this out to writing out your scales, then we have to start learning the scales. Now, for you as a mallet percussionist, you could play a lot of different ways. You could do all your right hand. But, you know, it's one hand, or you do the other hand, or you do things like this. You can do a lot of different sticking combinations, but the most practical, and by practical I mean efficient and useful sticking, is just going to be alternating your hands. Alternating your hands. However, I do want to specify this, is if you're doing one octave, like I just did, start with your left hand so that when you get to the top, you're ending with your right hand. If you start with your right hand, look what happens. I'm crossing over, and then when I get up to the top and end with my left hand, I'm crossing over. Okay?
And crossing over doesn't work.
Now, crossing over, you run the risk of getting hung up on yourself. Okay? Also reduces your ability to be accurate. If you play like this, starting with your left hand, look where my two hands are. And then when I switch my arm position, look where I'm at. Look where I'm at. Look where I'm at. So suddenly I'm taking 8 notes, and I'm making it look like 4 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice I'm not moving until I'm ready to play the next 2 notes. You guys see that? Watch this. And I know this instrument really isn't that cool. I don't like it.
Glockenspiel is cool.
Like, I mean, it's cool. I don't want to say it's not cool, but like playing drums is a lot of fun. This instrument at first can not seem that cool. But if we learn how to play it correctly, if we learn how to play it efficiently, very solid, then you can get into lots of really cool mallet stuff, like playing 4 mallets on marimba, or doing jazz vibes, or playing really fast stuff on xylophone. There's a lot of really cool music out there for your instrument, but we got to get there. And to get there, you got to really learn this stuff well, to do that well. So if I started this with my right hand, I get stuck doing this kind of thing, which it drives me batty, and when I watch other people do it, I see them mess up all the time. So I'm trying to get you guys to not mess up a lot. Start with your left hand when you're going up, and then when you're going down, start with your right hand. And if you're going up and down, you'll see how easy that was for me, okay? Now let me show you one other thing. Is this whole conversation was about being able to learn these scales to be able to practice what I just showed you. But if you have to play on different places, it feels different. So you have to practice the scales in other places as well, right? Okay, so I just played for you the C scale. All right, I'm going to let you guys call out to me whatever scale you want me to play, and I'll play it for you because I have them all memorized, and I want you to see how well I can do them. And I haven't played on a bell kit probably since last summer when I had to do band camp that year, okay? I don't spend a lot of time on this instrument anymore because it's not a big part of what I do in my day-to-day thing, but I still know how to play it really well because I do get on a marimba or on a piano or these other instruments that are very similar to this. Okay, so pick one.
A flat.
Pick one.
G flat.
Pick one. Anyone.
I can't decide, but.
Well, your name starts with a J, but what is your second letter in your name?
E. No.
Well, that's the last letter. We'll do that, right? E. Okay, pick one.
E flat.
Pick one. Anyone, random one. First thing.
D flat.
D flat, okay. This demonstration was about showing you that you could call out any scale at any time and I can play it for you because I'm that rehearsed on it. But it's not because I've been playing percussion for over 20 years or something that I can play it that well. It's just once I started understanding this really well and I started understanding this really well, it made this instrument suddenly less mysterious to me and I understood this instrument a lot better. Now, let's say we're in a situation where you have to learn a scale, but you don't have this and you don't have this, and I'm like, okay, here are the notes. Let's say, all right, here's the G sharp, regular G scale. And I just tell you that's what it is. You don't know these other things. well, then you're forced to memorize that, which isn't a bad thing. But let's say you get practicing and you don't have it written down anywhere and you forget. Was he talking about this note that's raised, or was it this note that's raised? Then you start confusing yourself and you just can't quite get it, and then what happens next? You get frustrated, and then what happens next? You don't learn it. So I don't want you to be frustrated. I'm giving you this information so you understand what this is. I'm giving you this information so you understand where I pulled the scale from. So if I understand the notes, if I understand the formula, and I'm playing the G scale at home and I suddenly forget what the next note is, I can think about the formula and use that to help me. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, whole. Now I know the roadmap. Now I know where I'm going, even if I don't have this stuff because I have it memorized. So I guess what I'm kind of trying to tell you guys is if you memorize this, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, you don't even need any of this stuff. Whole, whole, half, whole. Sorry, let me start over. Whole, 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 half, whole, whole, half. All right? So I know the map. I can start on any note and play this scale. And this is just for the major scale. If we started doing minor scales or other types of scales and I gave you the formula and we memorized those formulas, then you would never need this stuff ever again. You would just know what to do. Maybe you don't have the exact pitches memorized, but you could figure out where to go. In fact, we could erase all the names off all of this and still play the right thing because you know whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. You guys kind of see what I'm saying? So I know that I just gave you a lot of information. You're not going to be awesome at it today, but you're going to be well on your way to being awesome on it. And like I tell my students every year, you guys are going to be better than my students last year at this stuff because I'm always looking for better ways to be a better teacher so that I can make you guys be better students and be better percussionists, and it works for me. You can stop it.